Green to Stay Eco, Bounty News, the news with a tinge of mutiny, and just an update here, team. Hope you're well. And this short update is brought to you by
Moscow Eco, our eco in order.
Now. I'm very encouraged by some of the positive things happening. Of course, there's still a lot of old empire mentality, old establishment, boomer wealth sort of, spirit going around, which I feel is stifling our progress. It's blocking dialogue in the areas that we need to go. And on that subject, you notice I got the Moscow Eco Russia thing. Well, I grew up in a Cold War, and it's not just about the politics of the leaders, as some might say. It actually does affect some of the normal people, some of the average people living in these countries that are blockaded and boycotted and all this sorts of language. It affects a lot of the normal people as well. It affects the protection of wildlife and just generally the innovation, the way we should be going. We should be opening up dialogue to all areas of the world, despite religion, color, political aspirations. We need to cooperate now. Climate change is a big problem, and I know there's this fossil fueled element that is that these paid trolls that actually get paid. Imagine being paid by a fossil fuel company, but not up front, through a mechanism of networks behind the scenes to listen to this. This is where we are. This is where we're at now. Imagine being paid by a fossil fuel company, right, that for decades and decades has sabotaged, polluted our environment, been responsible for genocide of indigenous people, but that's not all. Wait, there's more. That have got away with not paying tax, caused wars, being in sorts of these sorts of collaborations with these types of people, who spur on wars. I mean, it's like a horror story. And imagine you think you're doing the right thing by joining these networks. I mean, what are you thinking? Now, the climate movement is not just about tree hugging, greenies. It's not just about that. It's about providing a better economy, a better hope. It's about tapping into new forms of industry. It's not just about protecting the environment, although that is a major important part. It's about spurring on new types of industries, growing economies, growing jobs, cutting down our destruction of the environment, cooperating with indigenous people all over the world. It's about that as well. It's not, it's not just about, it's not this sort of outer space, conspiracy to stop people from, driving cars and shooting guns. It's not. So can you just get off that? Can you get off that tangent? It's about giving people aspiration in areas that they need to grow, growing them as a person, working with wildlife, working with the environment, conserving our water. It's about educating children in a more hopeful future. It's not all about this, tree hugging, blocking the highway, so to speak. But you've really got to understand, what mankind is facing. Regardless of where you stand on the view of climate, we need to go in a different direction. That's what the new economy is about. And I'm seeing a lot of positive things, although the mainstream, they keep going back to this old business model, of just dumbing down the masses, giving them sport, alcohol, and vices to try and dumb them down so they don't start to, think in a more innovative, aspirational way, in just a better way. Like, this is so outdated. Why do you want to line up with these types of networks? Anyway, that's sort of a rant. But I'm seeing positive feedback from the many people that I'm speaking to. There is a great awakening happening now. I'm getting very positive feedback. But I think that the new generation is probably a bit more better at critical thinking than my generation. Like, my generation was just, we grew up during all sorts of like covert operations in the 70s and 80s. And sometimes they were just outright defiance of different populations. But this generation, I think they're a little bit smarter. I think they will work out a way to bring about the positive changes that we need, regardless of how much money's been spent by the, duopolies and monopolies and, old industries that don't want to move on, that just want to hoard onto the wealth and, not grow humanity. Despite all that, I think that this new generation will find a way to cut through all that, which is giving me more of a hopeful perspective of the future. Anyway, so I just want to talk about that quickly, and we'll leave it at that. Green to Stay Eco Bounty News update. The news with a tinge of mutiny. Signing out.